kind of what we got going on. And so the morning meeting that we just worked through, there's our outline for that right there. We have 7 items that we work through, and so they pull the scoreboards. In order to pull the scoreboards, they have to understand how to use our management system. So we use CCC, there's lots of management systems out there, but all of that data as far as how many cars we fix, how many dollars, how many hours, it's all inside of there. But in traditional body shops and us earlier, nobody knew or had access to that except the owner, the manager, maybe a couple of estimators, that kind of thing. And so we believe in transparency, and so we want everybody to understand what's going on so they have that situational awareness. And so we teach them, not only do we say, hey, you have access to this, but we're going to teach you, kind of force you how to use it so that if you ever ran into a problem, you know how to fix it because all the information you need is inside of this system. So they have to run reports, pull that information out of the management system, transfer it to our scoreboard. Are we winning? Are we losing? Green is winning. You can see there's a lot of red, but at least, we're transparent. We tell everybody where we're at. So this is kind of how many estimates we wrote, how many did we sell, our batting average of the ones we wrote, how many did we capture, and then this is actual cars going home. And so we don't ring the scoreboard until the car goes home, meaning delivered, paycheck in hand, car is out of our hair. We don't do the, as soon as we get it done, it's out front. It can sit out front for 2 weeks. And so it's when the car goes home, because we believe, to lower our cycle time, the car has to be gone because they got to be out of a rental car. And so we have part of our process. If we want to lower our cycle time, it's keys to keys. And so if we're busting our butt and getting everything done, but people don't come to get their car because we're not selling and keeping people informed enough to know that your car is going to be ready on this date, or we're not predictable enough, we say, hey, your car is going to be ready next week and it's done now. And so part of that education process is you got to make sure that the customer's here to pick it up, because we want this car to be gone because we need that parking spot. We need that space. If we get it done and they don't come get it, we have to over process. We got to pull that car back in at the end of the day. We got to pull it back out the next morning. If it gets dirty sitting outside in the rain or whatever, we got to wash the damn thing again. There's a lot of stuff that we have to do. We have to manage it. We have to insure it. Something could go wrong. It's just a lot to manage. And so we don't want that. So we talk about when it goes home, that's when it comes to this board. And so this is how many cars. So yesterday we sent home 3 cars for 96 hours yesterday. You add all these up and you get 1,300 for the month. Our goal is 135 a day right now. And so you can see we're behind goal. Sent them $11,000. All these added up would equal 178. The goal is 221, okay? And then you take our hours divided by the number of days, and that's how we got this 103, just so you kind of work through. But that's our scoreboard. Then they're going to go through the production plan. So this is our production board. This has when a car comes in and when it's expected to go home, and lots of stuff along the way. We've kind of dummied that down to a system that is manual, and so we like it better. There's technology that we could use, but it wasn't as personal, and they didn't get the the dopamine when they crossed it off the list and those kind of things. And so this is cars that are coming in, and the information you see is, so this is it's an Altima. The RO number, which is what you see on the left hand side in blue, that is what's hanging on the windshield tag. That's the number that's going to be on the parts carts and all those things. So that's kind of our number that's assigned to the car. That's how we handle it moving forward. It's 54 hours are on the job, and hours is always in orange. And then this company happens to be USAA. This one's Shelter, this one's Bristol West. Some of them are customer pay. We identify who the payer is so that we know how because they all handle it a little bit different. And so knowing is a insurance representative going to come out, or do we write it, or how do we go about that? The green on the left side means the car is on site, and then the green on the right side means that it has been pre-washed. Okay, so those are different triggers that tell different people what to do. And so every car that comes inside of our facility gets washed before it comes in, because you can't see the damage if it's not clean, but also we want to deal with a clean car. And so that's what's going on here. Once that is complete, we then move it over to production. And so these are cars that are getting fixed that need to go to the paint shop. And we've got another board over on the paint side. And so again, same kind of thing. And so we've got the vehicle, the RO number, the hours, which usually changes. Usually we discover some hidden damage and it goes from 50 to 62. And then we don't project the delivery date over here, not until we discover all the damage and we know when parts are going to be here. That's when we can predict it. Before that, it's a guess. So we give them a projected delivery date. So a customer is told that date, they're texted that date, they're reminded of that date. We hold ourselves accountable to the day that the car is going to go home and do the best that we can. We're not going to compromise safety or quality, but we're going to manage the process to make sure that that happens. And then on the right-hand side is where you see the order that we're going to go about things. And so we could change it. Maybe something blows up, or we have something wrong, or something's still drying. It's easy for us to switch this. If I want to switch, 1 and 2, I just erase that and put 1 and 2. It's that easy to do. These are cars that are coming from paint that are getting reassembled to go home. Okay. If you see a red one, that means that it's projected to go home today. This is just like a buddy dropped off his car yesterday. We looked at a trim panel, and we're just replacing the trim panel. Very rarely do we do that. We mostly deal with wrecked cars. But you can see none of these are red, although this one is a T2, so this one should be red. So this is a defect that somebody forgot to put that in red, because that's the indicator that says this car has to go home. Mike is new. But this car has to go home today, so that's going to get priority over other ones. We're not going to let that one slip through the cracks, and we want to make sure that gets taken care of. So same kind of thing. If we are waiting on a part, you'll see a blue P in this line, and then that's the date that part is expected to be here. So this car, we're going to get parts on the 18th. Okay, so that's today, and we'll be able to start reassembling. So this is the order that we're going to be going through fixing cars. That should have been a 2. See, I messed that up. But that's the order that we're going to go through, and then you will see, so green means it's a go car. It's going home today. You see a little bit of the blue, so the blue kind of says who's doing what, and so sometimes we say, okay, this is who's working in X-ray. You guys do it in the order. This is who's working in reassembly. This is who's fixing cars. But if they're going to be moving around a little bit, because we do cross training and they're flexible, they will dictate it. So the K is Keith. That's the first job that he's going to do, and then he may not have a number 2. He may just step in and start helping. But Ryan is going to do that first. Guy's going to do that first, and they're just kind of working through the process. And so, like, this car was done yesterday, so I can erase that guy because he's done with that. Once he crosses it off, the body man has done his thing. It still does need to get polished, though. And so that's the way that we write things that need to get done. This one's just a trim panel, so any little notes, we kind of work through. But that's our production plan. Of course, he went through the 8 wastes. We do that every day, a different person. So whoever does 8 wastes today will lead the morning meeting tomorrow. Then we went around the circle and did our improvements. So whatever they worked on this morning in that hour that they were fixing things or making things better, we share that. Then we, of course, had our lean learning, and we share any good news. Okay, but that's how our production board works. Our scoreboards. There's those 4 steps to the process of our X-ray department working through. That's the one that we almost killed each other trying to come out of that with a process. Very challenging to do. And then just kind of on the whiteboard,